Hi and welcome to War Talk episode 3, Throw Eagles at It. We're going to be talking premium vehicles. We're going to be talking how grindy War Thunder is. And with me today is, with a new nickname, Classypax, formerly known as Pax Founder and Pax Founder 1. And AverageAdam and myself, Scribble12. Today's guest is Psycho88. Hey Psycho, how are you doing?
Doing good, yourselves.
Awesome. Tell everybody a little bit about you, what you do. You stream War Thunder, right, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, War Thunder, mostly just sim games.
Sim pilot.
Yeah, for the most part, it's got some form of flying in it, and I play it.
How often do you stream?
4 to 5 days a week.
Awesome. And they can find you at, I'm assuming it's twitch.tv/psycho88.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So guys, go check him out if you want to see more of sim battles and stuff like that. Do you do both planes and tanks, or is it just one of them?
Yeah, I do a lot of planes. The tanks, I'm having some issues with how they're being set up right now, so trying to play them, but they're making it fairly difficult to do that right now.
Yeah, we talked about that last episode.
Yeah. That's why I'm not really going into it. You just covered that one already.
Yeah, we just did. We should have had you that in there.
Yeah. Oh, the rage is real.
The rage is real.
I won't tell you that I just got my M103 yesterday, man. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I already saw that in his chat. I was in Pax's chat yesterday while he was knocking me off the sky in the middle of it.
Oh,
How
yeah.
is it?
Oh.
Is it good?
It's got a gun about as accurate as just throwing just stuff. But when you hit something, the gun sound is amazing. Oh, it's
awesome.
paper thin too, but it's
paper thin too. Awesome.
It is paper thin. It's like it's not a tank, but it definitely packs the wallop.
Awesome. Alright guys, today we're going to be talking, the first topic will be premium vehicles. And there's a lot of things to go into there. We have capture vehicles, prototypes, unique ones, and pretty much obviously, whether good or bad, having certain vehicles as premiums, non-premiums, stuff like that. We're going to touch talismans, backup vehicles, going to other options and decals. Who wants to start this off today then? Who feels confident getting into this topic?
I did it last time, so Pax.
Oh, so it's Pax's turn.
Absolutely, man. Now, premium vehicles are a pretty cool thing. It's a neat little thing that you can buy to have something unique. Obviously, plus it's going to give you the bonus of your RP gain, your line gain. So it's got a nice little benefits to it. But at the same time, the choices that they made back when this game was coming into fruition, right out of the gates, back, we're talking a long time ago here, before tanks, all that good stuff. I don't know how much thought they put into what type of vehicles they should be, because now we're coming into these issues now where they're adapting the game. It's ever evolving into different type of game modes and such. And as everyone knows, like the sim part of it and the RB part of it are moving into these HUD-less, no identifications on the planes at all. And so all these choices that they've made some time ago are starting to kind of bite them in the butt, because now you have these captured planes that are premium planes, like the German Tempest, the tier 2 planes on America, like the Chi-61, the A6M2, the Chi-43-2. Almost every nation, like the Spitfires, like the American Spitfire, which is not so bad. There's a Russian one as well, but that's all allied, so it's okay. But when it comes to like the enemy side, like Axis versus Allies, and they have captured planes from the other nation, that can get really confusing in the game, because to mock it up to make it look like an enemy plane, you just simply put, like, for example, like the A6M2, you could just put some red decals on it. Or this is even better. If you go to the customization section of the A6M2, if you have it, you can switch the camo to the actual Japanese skin, in-game skin, the V103, whatever it's called. So you don't even have to mock it up. It just looks like one. Or another good example is the B-17 premium on Japan. Just cover it up or whatever have you, and boom, you got like an allied one. It's starting to get a little weird with those ones. I mean, I personally, if it was me looking at a premium aspect, where I would love to see them go is unique planes. Not so much captured, but unique, as in different nations within it. So Romanian, Italian, Swedish. I mean, something like that for Germany. Japan might be a bit of a tougher one. Might be more like a Lend-Lease thing, maybe. But I don't know what they really did with Germany in the first place, besides some like jet engines stuff and what have you. Oh, and the Key 61s were the 109 engine, if I'm correct. But then British is pretty good because that's Commonwealth, and they already have a great plethora of really unique planes. The Mustang is absolutely gorgeous. The Mustang Mark 1A is a lovely example. Boomerangs are a great example. The DB, the Wirraway, I think's absolutely hilarious but fun. Things like that I think would be a better approach. But I mean, can they even turn around? Can they do anything about this now? Like, I mean, you already have this set in stone. Is that going to ruin things for the future? Or could they even have the option of potentially refunding people for all these premiums that were captured ones and flipping them over to different nations? Is that even an option?
Well, I mean, it's difficult to. I think it's very difficult to remove one that has been sold. Like I don't know. I just feel it's. I mean, I'm not sure if they have done it or still doing that. I mean, I know they had planes that was sold as premiums and then were removed for reasons, and then they came back, right? Didn't they do that for a while with the Spitfire Mark 10?
Yeah, there was also the second Gladiator. It was way back in the airplane alpha days. It was technically a reserve, but then they added all the Furies and stuff like that, and they took it away, and it's just come back now as a second one that you had like an achievement thing unlocked for.
Oh, okay.
Or what have you. Then there's also a lag in there and stuff like that. There's a couple other planes.
So they have kind of at least removed them, but those who have it still.
Yes.
Like they obviously haven't.
There are rare
and
ones.
they can't do that. Like in my opinion, that's dangerous. Like and Gaijin knows that they will not. I don't think they will ever take it away from you, even if they give you back whatever you paid for it, because people will be upset about that.
Because people like collecting them too.
Yeah.
Like especially the A26 Interceptor for the Americans. That top, I think it's A26. Yeah. That's a pretty rare aircraft, and you had to. The only way that I knew how to get it way back was you did the Indian Summer event 2 years ago, I think.
Oh, is that the one?
Crazy kills in American planes to be able to unlock it, and I would be pretty annoyed. Even I don't even know what that's worth, first of all, but I'd be pretty annoyed if I grinded all of that and then it got taken away from me because I mean I might not have paid Eagles for it, but I put a lot of time into it. So that's one of the planes that's quite rare that I would be quite annoyed of if it got just taken out. Then again, it's
like
not
how many premiums do you guys like own? Like how many do you own, Psycho? Do you own any premiums?
Just I believe only just like a T-34 premium tank. That's about all that I got.
Wow.
But I mean, yeah, it's.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
I get exactly where you. Yeah, no, trust me, it's been hard to hold back on somebody going on a spending spree half the time. It's like, $100, $200. No.
I unfortunately have
put the wallet down.
I unfortunately have way. I don't like. I remember trying to make a list of the ones I didn't have and the ones I did have, and you just look at one nation, you're like, another nation. And when you started making the list, it was like, holy shit! There's how many premium airplanes in this game? Like
there's actually quite a bit.
Yeah.
There's ones that there's ones that maybe on your account that you don't even see, but they're a premium because it's
like the A26
Spitfire Mark 9 for Russia, for example, is a good one. That thing only comes up on sale once a year. The Lag 3, there's a certain Lag 3 that's very rare. And then like the DBs and the
TB3.
Yep, the TB3 and the float plane version of the HE-51, another one. Yeah, there's quite a few actually. They're like hidden, and the 112 Romanian.
The Boston for the Americans, for the British. Sorry,
the Boston,
that's a rare one.
Same with the Havoc.
You could go for a while.
Dude. I was making a list because for several reasons, but it was that it became a very very long list.
There's a lot of There's a lot of vehicles in this game that don't even show up on your screen if you didn't jump on it when they were available.
Oh, yeah.
Like a good example, not even premiums. The SM-79 bombers, the Italian bombers. There's 7 of them, and way back when they were introduced, if you didn't grind and align purchase all 7, like you got like 4 of them, they took away the last 2 and kept the first 5. So if you look at your list and you didn't grind them back then, you only have 5 SM79s when technically there's 7. Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm not in the game right now. I might have to
You're
start
one of the rare ones.
Do you know the reason I have that? I know we're going a little off topic. The only reason I did that was because when they were going to introduce the new system, I didn't want to be shafted and have to then unlock them later, because when they still did the tier 20 system, I was just like, I want every vehicle. I literally I spent weeks just grinding out to tier 20 on most of the nations, just so I didn't have to then go and do it later on and have to grind my way through like 5 of these planes. I was just like, I just want everything now. So yeah, sorry, go and slightly. But yeah, as you said, planes that you don't even see. Like, imagine if they took those 2 planes away from me or you, if you'd grinded them. Like, what would they be worth? Like, they're not premiums, but what would they be worth? Like, would they give you the silver for them? But then what about the time you took to grind them? Like, there just doesn't really seem to be a value of your time.
There's gonna be some tough choices on Gaijins, and you're coming up. Obviously, it's gonna. Like RB and SB, this whole thing, like, are they gonna let them get in the game with everyone else, and they're risking the opportunity of getting team killed? I mean, some of the skins that they have, I mean, like, the German premium ones are pretty good. Like, the gray top, yellow bottom. I mean, they stick out pretty prominent. But that's those other ones, they blend in really good.
The realistic and the sim part of it, where you can have it skinned. So it's like it's...
Yeah, and what's to stop a guy from deckling shit? I mean, like, you can just put things on any plane to kind of like try to mock it up into something else. I've seen guys put like yellow decals on their nose of a P63 to make it look like a 109. I mean, and once you get close enough, you kind of get an idea what the heck it is. But still, it's just like when you look at first glance, you see something in the distance, you're not too sure how far it is, but you look at it, you see that yellow nose, or you see those red dots, so you know the patterns quite well. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's just friendly. And then all of a sudden you're getting shot by it. I'm like, what the shit?
Hey, I like that tactic though. I actually
like that happen.
But then realistically speaking,
it's a little frustrating.
I think, realistically speaking, like, you wouldn't paint your plane to look like if you were in that P47 premium, American premium, you wouldn't paint it the same colors as the Allies, because you'd be shot by your own flak. Like,
exactly.
You wouldn't do that.
Like, you have invasion stripes. You know the planes with invasion stripes? They did that to counter all the team killing.
Right. So you would like, it's just so, like, I know we discussed obviously balancing last week with, you don't want to take away the fun of being able to do a crazy tactic like that. But when you're playing so hardcore, you don't want to be having to think, well, could that be... Like, all right, so from a distance, you still have to think about it. But if it's got a bright yellow bottom, like it should do, you're going to go, well, that's obviously an enemy one. And then you're going to do something different. Like, you don't want to have to go into every situation going, oh my God, could this be a bad guy? Like, I'm an arcade player. Like, this isn't a problem. We get infinite view range. We can spot people red. It doesn't matter what the premium is, so long as it isn't unbalanced. Like, so tweaking of the BR, say for the Mustang Mark 1A that went from...
Yeah, the M46 comes to mind.
Yeah, the XP50, the infinite climb rate of that thing. Like, so there, so for us, premiums don't really matter if it's, a captured, if it's the similar, if it's a slight variant. That doesn't really matter to us. Like, balance would be a much higher factor. But for you guys, seeing an almost identical plane for 2 nations is exceptionally frustrating. So, we're looking at it from 2 sides. Like, I don't really mind seeing a Tempest for the Germans, because it doesn't matter to me. If it's red, I'm going to shoot at it. If it's red, I'm going to shoot it. But for you guys, there's a whole new kettle of fish.
Yeah,
I've had a worse situation ever as I was playing as the Japanese, similar to the event that's going on today, but it was with the Americans. And someone had the 0 from the American tree, the premium one. I ducked in to get on the wing of a teammate who was on the tail of a Corsair. Well, behind him looked like exactly another 0. I went right over his wing, not even 15, 20 meters. Went past him. Next thing I know, I'm dead. I went right over the edge of his wing. He looked exactly like one of our teammates. It just didn't click until...
Today. And there was a J2 with Australian roundels on its wings.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
To try to make it look like a boomerang or something. I was just like, oh, man. Yeah. Stuff like
It-
that.
it-
It's
it
starting
can
to
get-
become more prominent.
So, I mean, we're all, I guess, sort of in an agreement that it, like, having cool planes like the Mustang for the British, or the Boomerang for the British, or, you know, some cool kind of experiment planes, I guess, for the Americans, like the XP-55, isn't so much like the majority of the problem. It's more being able to just sort of camo them so they're kind of really well hidden, and then just sort of sneak up behind you, and then just kind of not really. I mean, again, it you don't want to take away people's fun, because you know, it's like somebody said earlier, you could paint, if you were playing sim, you could paint your tank completely black and make it look like a dead tank, hide in a corner,
Yeah,
might just drive past you. Like, that's kind of guerrilla warfare with a tank, but you would kind of hear the engine. You would hear something would be obvious that tank is obviously a real tank. But because it's a game, you kind of just look at it first glance, it's dead. Like, you just ignore it and just drive on. It's going to come up behind you. Sort of a similar thing. Like, sure, it's a legitimate tactic, but if it was reality, it would be shot down by its own AAA and its own team. Like, nobody would kind of give it a second thought. They would
it's
go,
a
"That's
legitimate
definitely a bad guy."
tactic. It's a legitimate tactic as long as Gaijin lets you like expand these decals to the size of your entire vehicle. And if they did limiters so that you couldn't scale it up so drastically, maybe we'd be able to fight this. At least to a point of where they'd have to put like maybe try to put on 4 decals to try to cover their whole plane, which in that case they need to have a premium account.
Here's an
or
idea.
have it-
I mean, it's if we're at least talking, let's go all the way to the back, up to sim. Then let's look at simulator battles. Like, I mean, it's supposed to be simulator simulating. I guess as close to realistic and maybe even historically accurate as possible. I'm not sure about that, but you know, at least that part. So why even allow? Like, why not just make a code line that just goes like, well, it's cute that you have decals or alternative skins on your plane, but they will just not be on in sim mode.
Because then you would want to distinguish surely between team. Like,
there's a thing that's starting to happen in Sima with the decals that's actually beneficial and not used in that sense of trying to mask yourself as an enemy, and that is just easy identification of squad mates.
Oh yeah,
We'll find games of where if you're squatting with like a bunch of your friends, you would
you
all
put
have
something
a
on the wing, right?
yeah, exactly.
I
Put
know
something on
that
the
because
wing
I've been
on this-
spectating and commentating on the Gladiator tournament.
Yes,
And,
they would do
we've
that.
seen that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, because it's an easy identification of your friends.
Mm.
Kind of like the purpose of it. So that way, if you see a red tail or a blue tail or something like that, you know exactly who it is. And then you could communicate to them. And this has particularly been very good with that mixed event that's been going on. Because then you see a buddy plane, you know if it's actually your friend, like someone in TeamSpeak or whatever, that you say, hey, Dylan, look down. You know, you can actually, it adds a whole bunch to the dynamic of the game, especially in that. So in
Yeah, I
that
can see
sense,
that.
it has its purpose. It does. But it definitely has, I mean, like, I remember back when it was quite a while ago, a couple patches ago, of where they would lock the decals to the nations. Like you couldn't put Axis decals
I thought they still had
like,
that.
what happened to that?
I think
No.
it's still in. I can't
No,
put.
I got
Well, there's certain
I put-
things. There's some things.
Yeah,
You
it
might be
doesn't.
right.
It
You
doesn't
can
seem
put,
to
you
have
can
a
put, you
definitive
can, yeah,
rule.
you can put a lot of German decals on. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You can. But there's like if you go into, is it letters, numbers, like those weird things? Like there
Why
is
would they
some.
lock those?
I
That
don't
makes no
fucking
sense.
know
Why
because
would
a
they
German
lock
number
those?
one is obviously different to an American. Crazy Viking in Twitch chat is saying they have limited the scale. How
They
recent?
have?
The question is how recent. How recent is that change? Because if it happened like within the last 24 or 48 hours, I might have missed that.
Yeah, it's quite recent. I think it's happened today or yesterday. It's really quite recent. It's not been that long ago. Yep. All right. I'm going to confirm that a few patches ago they did have it limiting, but apparently I can now put a Japanese symbol on my.
The
But
ones
how
that-
big can you make it?
Yeah.
You not as big as it used to be. Probably. No, like you know when you used to be able to get like the sort of symbols, you could make it literally like half the size of the plane. I can barely make it a quarter of the wing. Like it's pretty drastically smaller now. Like it's very noticeable. So they've at least reduced the decals, and as you said, you'd have to have premium to be able to put 4 of them on, And I don't think now you can actually probably
that, or you grind it to the point of where you just unlock the four decal thing as well, which a lot of
premium
people have
vehicle.
done. Obviously, if you're already using it for that type of purpose, you'll be grinding that plane specifically.
Yeah, you would have had it maxed up pretty quick.
And premium, yeah, exactly. And it's usually the premiums that are captured anyways, so you're already getting that advantage. So
right.
It's just like this circumventing issue of like, holy shit, what are we gonna do about this? As for like, I guess back on track with the actual premium vehicles themselves and stuff like that, when it comes to, I mean, like the tank side has actually been not so bad. I mean, there is a captured German Sherman, which is. And the KV, but the KV has that different mount, which is not so bad. True. That actually has a major visual distinction to it. And then any other captures have been kind of like more of a Lend-Lease thing, which I don't mind. Lend-Lease is good because it's on the same nation. I mean, it's on the same, side of the front in a sense of Ally versus Axis in a sense. And that's not bad. I don't mind Lend-Lease. Would, for premium vehicles, be better for just uniqueness, like, the different nations within a nation, Commonwealth, what have you, and prototypes? I mean, like, just technically, the Horton didn't do anything. The I-185 didn't really do anything. Japanese has quite a lovely list of stuff that didn't do anything at all. Would that be better for the uniqueness of having a premium vehicle for that? I mean, like, because when tanks come out, let's face facts here, Japan is going to need a lot of paper vehicles.
Here's what I'm thinking when it comes to that, though, is that I don't think. I mean, I'm not sure. I hope Gaijin doesn't feel pressured that they have to release, let's say, tanks for every nation if it's that big of a problem to make anything for Japan, for example. You know what I mean? Like
there is a big list. They do a big list, just not all of them saw action. And it's not like they're already have incorporated paper things. They've already already gone down that road. I mean, we are playing with the mouse, and it didn't do anything. To be honest,
no, but the mouse was built. Like there's a very fine line between paper and prototype. It was built, so we like. All right, fine. It's propaganda. Like I have to agree that the mouse might have been a bit of a propaganda thing because it's absolutely ginormous. It just isn't viable. It didn't cross any bridges. So same sort of thing with the Horton. Like what they wanted to do with it. Like is crazy, like it's propaganda, but they at least like you can touch it and you can feel it, so it's close to what it would have been than just being able to just sort of draw it. Like there's a big difference between kind of drawing it and going, here's a Yamato that we've just stuck on land, slap. Like,
but then there's another thing too of actually building it and then it actually doing anything. Like the
right,
1A, like,
so
like good, congratulations, you made your paper idea into like a plane, but it did it, or a plane or tank, but did it actually do anything? Like the 185 just lit on fire on the runway. Like, congratulations.
Would it be cool? Would it be cool if the in-game plane did the same thing?
No, that doesn't add anything.
Like you'll be like, woo!
That doesn't do anything.
So when you take off in the Horton, there's like a 1/8 chance that it's gonna blow up one engine and kill the pilot.
Yeah,
that'd be
awesome. Just fall apart.
Especially in realistic and sim mode.
Right? Authenticity, Psycho, right? I mean, we should have like ground crew.
I would love that.
If you have a prototype plane, the ground crew has no idea what the fuck to do with it because it doesn't exist.
My massive counter argument to that is...
I know that firsthand.
You know that firsthand. There you go.
I know that firsthand.
Oh look, a Hilton 112. What do I do? I have no idea.
Where do I put the fuel?
We'll stick it anyway. It'll be fine. But my massive counter argument to that kind of...
from NASA. We had no idea what the hell to do with it. Just looking at like, how does this fly for one, and then where do we put the fuel in? Oh, it's over in this weird corner. Just be careful you don't cause a static shock. It does blow up. What?
What? Oh, that's a...
tell us
I'm
this
not
now.
feeling
Thanks.
it.
Where's the instruction manual?
Write that down.
Oh yeah, there is no instruction manual. We never.
There is no one.
We never made that one.
I mean, my massive problem with that kind of realism is your teammate would just be then useless. Like, let's say you did get the Horton, and one engine blew halfway off takeoff. Like, now you're a teammate down in simulator. Like, sure, I watched your stream yesterday. You were taking down people. Like, your squadron of 3 of you took out 6 dudes, right? And your other teammates did literally nothing. Like, they just did nothing. Like, they all had 0 kills. But they might have been bait. They might have, like, tanked a few shots. But, that's neither here nor there. They did no kills. So it's kind of, irrelevant. But you're probably the minority rather than the majority. Like, if you're a Horton player down because he decided to buy the premium... Like, let's say the Horton was a premium. It's... we're gonna make it up. They've got a tier 5 premium, which I'm against first of all, but they've made a tier 5 premium.
Oh, like
Horton.
they haven't done that before, and they just make a tier 5
Hang on,
anyways.
we'll get to that one. But let's say the Horton is a tier 5 premium. One of the engines breaks. You've spent eagles on it. You're upset because your plane that you've now thrown eagles at is broken. Your teammates are now upset because you're a teammate down, and the enemy's upset because they didn't get a chance to kill you. Like, you've now upset 3 variations of people because you've decided that the Horton should break its engine. Like, that doesn't seem very fair. Like,
no, that was more of a joke thing with the actual.
I know,
breaking in.
But
yeah,
linking the tier
saying,
5 premium, linking the tier 5 premium. Yes, the M46 is technically a tier 5 premium.
It's a squeaky leaky premium right there.
I am so, like, if you made the mouse a premium, like a tier 5 premium, because you used the kind of, it didn't see combat, it's an exotic kind of thing, it's unique, then you would have to make it tier 5. But then, you know, you would then have the sort of counter argument of, well, what's Germany going to have to counter the IS-4? Like, you can't have a premium buy thing to counter something that anybody
the whole ranking thing is almost redundant because it's all done by BR anyways. I mean, just technically, you can make a tier 4 according to Gaijin's rules and just up its BR. You know what I mean? Like, you
could, like the Mustang Mark 1A for Britain is the same BR as like top tier 4.
But it's going against
planes,
tier 4.
But it's tier 3.
Exactly.
It's okay. I agree that the B, like, if you were to do it by
defense, it did get a decretion in sim. It did because it couldn't climb worth shit.
It got a decretion in arcade eventually as well, but for the longest of time, it was a very high tier 4, and a lot of people were annoyed.
Very counter for a premium. Usually, premium, you know, they like to like sprinkle on a little bit of benefit by having the BR low. The Mustang was a tried true example of the opposite, of where it was maybe a little bit too high, but it was still a fun plane.
I mean, like we said last week with Balance by History. Like, the thing was, you know, in arcade, it has 4 cannons, it's pretty tanky, it's on a Mustang body, it'll just churn through stuff, fly through stuff, and have a jolly good time with whatever it sees. So, that was probably why it had the BR rating all the way up, and maybe now has
it didn't make much sense in sim. Like, guys in sim, they flew it because it was a fun, challenging plane because you had to climb to the side forever and get that altitude advantage, and it performed great when it was going fast. But you did not know. You didn't want to go slow on that thing. You get destroyed. But it was definitely a unique and interesting thing to play because there's nothing like it. I mean, it was just such a cool little historical type of like plane, like boomerangs, stuff like that. They're just really neat, niche things. That even if it was a premium, and even though maybe its BR was a little too high for what it should be, you still did it because you had that boost. You were in something that was very different. You bought it. You got into it. No one else can get it in the main line. That was kind of cool about it, but they've balanced it out now. That was a kind of neat example of where, even though it didn't have a BR that really matched its performance to what it was going against, you still did it because it was still such a glass plane.
I realized something. I realized something when talking about this, guys, which has me. I don't know what the word is, but so the two vehicles then, the Horton and the mouse, for example, like these 2 vehicles that they've added, that is pretty much like, I mean, it's Gaijin going like, we know people want this because it's you know, it's gonna be it's two vehicles that people go like, oh yeah, we know they didn't really exist, like they never really made it into production, they never really did anything with them, but they're so cool pieces of history that we just want to play with them in this game anyway.
Exactly, they're iconic.
And it's so iconics, exactly. And I think it's I'm not sure if people have put much thought into this, because I definitely haven't even put a single thought until you guys were talking, and I've just come to realize that Gaijin could have made those premium. They could have gone, these are so iconic and unique and prototype that you gotta pay to get these. Like, and they would have probably made like a bazillion amount of rubles or whatever.
It would frustrate people who didn't want to pay money, but you're playing a free
that would have
game
been
in
a
the
bad
first place.
move. That would have been a bad move. But I want to right here give credit to them for actually putting them into the regular tech tree so that everyone can get them. I think that's actually amazing. And wait, they were super nice by adding these and then making them available to anyone who put in the effort to grind them. That's actually really cool. I just like, I don't know, it's just my observation. I'm like, nice, thank you, Gaijin. I like the idea of it.
Their marketing team's a little weird. I mean, when it comes to like what they monetize and what they don't.
Oh yeah.
We have so many Spitfire Mark 9s in this game.
I mean, would you
Every nation has one.
But would you have been
Mark
surprised
9,
though
like
if they made those?
You get a Mark 9. You get a Mark 9. Everyone gets a Mark 9. It doesn't make any sense.
It's like Oprah Mark 9s.
Oprah's Mark 9. That's it. Confirmed.
Under your chair is a Mark 9.
A Mark 9. Hey!
All right, confirmed. Someone out there has to make an Oprah Winfrey Mark 9 skin. It says on the side.
Here we go.
Alright, it's gonna be done now. It has to be done.
Just to quickly go back to the mouse. Alright, so the M46 is a tier 5 battle rating 7.0 premium. I will not defend it in any way. One of the reasons why I don't think it is a tier 5 is because of, it's kind of psychological. If you look at World of Tanks and the Lowy, which is a battle rating 8 tank, I believe, it's a heavy tank. And it is, when you see that thing on the battlefield, you know somebody's probably just thrown money at it because it's a heavy tank and they just want a premium, a high tier premium, because they believe that they are better than everybody else, but they don't want to grind. And, they get in it and they kind of suck because they don't have the experience that the people who have grinded all this way have. So if you were to say put the mouse as a tier 5, an 8.0 tier 5 tank, you're going to have a lot of people that might have just come straight from the game, buying it and going in it. That's a kind of a massive problem, because then you're going to swing balance in all kinds of ways, because you're going to have people who are very experienced in it and people who are very
you're volunteering
new.
For this. So I mean,
I understand you're volunteering, saying I'm quite happy to put a tank that's not only experimental but costs probably a lot of eagles, because this thing, if it's tier 5, just like the M46, is probably going to be 7,000 plus eagles. Like, just like the Lowy, it's like a $30 tank. Like, it's pretty hefty and it's a top tier sort of tank. But for somebody on the enemy team, it's going to be like, yes, somebody in a mouse, yes, it's probably a brand new player. Let's just absolutely. But again, like, you're just gonna see it and you're just gonna want to kill it because it's might have somebody who's brand new in it. So I feel like it might also be sort of a psychological thing.
If it was premium or not, and you see a mouse, but you still want to shoot it just because.
Well, yes and no, thing. Because you're not going to do anything to it. Like, you just shoot it, you're just going to have.
I'm the guy. If I see a premium vehicle in game, I usually go like, I want to kill that guy. Cause I don't know. I run premium vehicles, but it's just like, I don't know why. It's one of those things.
It's like you're shooting their wallet.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's like, oh, you brought a premium? Well, guess what? I'm gonna kill you now.
Money well spent, motherfucker.
Hey, when I played a lot of RB, that was the coolest thing. Was like, you just go after those premium guys.
Kind of like when I bought the X55, I was like, oh boy, this is so cool, and then I flew it, and I'm like, oh boy, this is a bad decision.
But yeah, I think it's awesome though that, I mean, but like you said, Adam, like if they made those premium, then people could jump down to tier 5 instantly, or well, tier 4, or tier 5.
So maybe a mouse is a bad example of this, of where maybe that's a little bit too high for.
Well, I was just giving an example.
But still, it's still a vehicle that I wouldn't have been surprised if they made it premium.
I wouldn't have been shocked.
Like
either.
no, I don't think people might have been upset a little bit, like, oh, you guys are monetizing this, but. Most people would be like, yeah, it makes sense, because it's this unique, like, maybe that also would have limited the amount of them that would have been in the game, somehow like that, but I don't know. I kind of think they, when it comes to the Horton and Mouse, like, they gone the really nice way of being like, hey, let's just make it available for everyone.
But I guess to move it on to the next part of it is you technically can premiumize a tier 5 plane or a tank, and we call that talisman.
Yeah.
Now, talisman, Adam, Psycho, someone, would you care to explain what talisman does?
Psycho
Psycho doesn't have premium planes. Has he talismans?
Have you talisman anything, Psycho?
My A4, my FW190 A4, I know for sure. I've got that completely finished. Like, I've got a maxed out crew.
Not spaded, talisman.
That's pretty much where you ace the crew, isn't it?
Nope.
No?
No.
Oh, okay, so I just learned what talisman is recently, though. Like, because I actually learned this recently.
So a talisman is basically, as Pax said, premiuming a plane. You basically pay a certain amount of golden eagles, depending on what tier it is, and you get an extra research bonus, 100% research bonus to upgrading the parts of the vehicle and the next vehicle, which we'll also cover in the sort of second half about grinding. So you can kind of premium any vehicle, whether it be, you know, an M103, you could stick a talisman on it, and then you could then help research the rest of your tier 5 tanks, or help research the parts for that tank. As it's a tier 5 tank, it's going to take a long time. If you then put a talisman on it, bam, you've now got an extra 100% research that you're just going to plow into that vehicle. And I mean, these things are pretty expensive. Like we looked at, you know, they're...
Is it more expensive
weird.
the higher the tier or something like that?
Yes. It's you know, about double the amount of a so let's say the tier 4 one, the M26 for the Americans is 7,000 to
wait,
talisman.
Wait, did you say 7,000?
Yeah, for the M26 E1, the premium, it's 7,000. But then that gives you lions as well as extra crew.
That's different. Yeah, that's the big.
For the M103, it's 2,300, but you only get plus 300 RP bonus. So you kind of get a semi-premium, which isn't really, it doesn't get the entire effects of a premium, like the extra. I don't think it increases crew XP gain. But I think it's just RP.
It doesn't give you, yeah, it just gives you RP. It's basically an RP grinder. If you're trying to unlock it, so if you're more focused on unlocking stuff instead of line consumption, Talisman's actually a pretty good choice, especially if you find a plane that you really like. So if you find a plane that you do really well in, maybe even higher tier, which would be more beneficial, I suppose, and you talisman it, you get an RP gain bonus that you can put toward grinding out additional vehicles faster, but you're not getting the line bonus like you do with the premium, and it's not quite as good as a premium. But the plus side, it is less costing factor to talisman something compared to just buying a premium. So it is a flip side of what it can do for you, but obviously it only works for a certain type of player who is not worried about line gain. And then if you're not a premium player, like with a premium account, lions become a huge factor to think about as well, because you're not there. Now you got repair costs into play here. Now there's an additional thing within there beside the talisman called a backup. Now a backup plane is, you just basically can take a plane twice to a game. Doesn't work in RB, doesn't work in SB.
It only
works in arcade only.
And
only
you can only do it once per game, so it's one extra.
And only once per game.
And it's and it uses it up too, right? So it's like a usable.
Why? Yeah, exactly. It's like buying the golden shells in War Thunder. I mean, it's a one-time use thing, right? I mean, just boom.
Yeah. I did that for fun on a press account, because I first thought that you could respawn as much as possible, so I bought like 100 copies of one. Hey, it was on a press account, so it's just it was just for experiment. It was for science, and I was and then I couldn't. So I was like, wait, why do people then like?
What's the point of it?
I would
What's
never.
The point of it
I
now?
would never buy a backup vehicle ever.
What is a good reason to back up a plane? Anybody?
Let's say, as you said, no. Let's be honest. Like, there is a good reason. It's not a great reason, but is a good reason. Let's say you did buy an expensive premium, like the M46 or the Cobra King, which are very good premium vehicles, and you want to take it in twice. Fair enough, because you get you get the research boost for both. Like, you'll get the extra lines, you'll get the extra RP, like you'll get all the boosts that the tank comes with, which is great. But you only get to do it in arcade, so the boost itself is quite low, because I think it's only like 200% increase on a premium vehicle. I couldn't even look. So it's 100,
By the way,
plus 200.
You can't talisman a premium vehicle, you know.
No, you can't. No. That's you can't talisman a premium vehicle.
So that takes away that lovely idea, doesn't it?
No. But then you wouldn't be able to anyways, because it already gets you the 100% boost that a talisman vehicle would. Like.
Right,
a talisman vehicle just gives you that 100% research boost, and that's what a premium vehicle does. It's a reward, like a normal tank, plus 100, and then a research bonus. So the Jumbo gives you 100 reward, plus 100, like a talisman, then an extra plus 220% to whatever vehicle you're researching.
Oh, okay.
So if you were then to take that in again, bam, you've now doubled your
But how much is
reward.
a backup, though?
For a Cobra King, well, it depends. It goes from anywhere from 10 to 50, and it isn't exact. There doesn't seem to be any kind of linear.
We were going through this. It's so weird. Okay, here's a good example. What was it? The MiG-15? The MiG-15 was at what?
A tier 5 jet is 40.
40. The lag, no, it was like 30, I think. The lag 3, the
30,
tier 1 lag 3 was like 50. 50 golden eagles for a tier 1 backup compared to like a 30 on a tier 5 jet.
And here,
where the fuck
hey,
they
that proves my point. That proves my point that I don't like. Honestly, I don't think anyone, like, seriously, if we got like a percentage of the player base actually buying backup vehicles, it's not even a 1%. It's probably like 0.22.
So why do they have it?
Yeah, but that's also why they haven't like balanced it. You know, like, you're bringing out flaws here. Like, you're like, oh, there's no, like, it's not linear or anything, and it's probably because they're not making any money off it. It was implemented, but they're obviously not gonna spend the time to take it out. They're just gonna let it be, but nobody's gonna fucking manage it. So it's just there
Adam
for no use.
We're talking about an idea that could
we came up with
an idea. Adam
logic.
Why don't we just get rid of backup? Because it's
Just, I mean,
and put in something that actually makes sense for people who want to spend a little and get back a bit.
Yeah, because I mean, 50 eagles is what? That's nothing.
It's not much.
It's not even $1.
Still, you can. That's the type of money of eagles you can get from doing the wagers, the golden wagers, right? Where you're getting that slight, slow income if you do really good at the golden eagle wagers. That's kind of cool. Then you can borrow that on these light things. People who don't want to spend a lot of money on the game, but they want to put a little bit whenever they can. We thought about an idea because if you're not on a premium account, so if you're not getting that extra line gain, obviously repairs become an issue. After your 10 repairs on a plane, you start paying it. And if you're flying nations like Japan and where the repair charge is astronomical, like on an N1K2 JA, it's like 67,000 lions on max repair in sim.
The sim guy just goes, whoa!
Which plane was that?
The N1K2 JA, the second in the Nikis, the Niki fighters. It's like
basically
the max cost.
Let me take a note of that so I can avoid that one, maybe.
No, but this is how you fix it.
Psycho has a list of planes not to fly because expensive to repair.
Adam and I were talking about this. Get rid of backup. Put in a money amount or a little line amount like 50 or whatever for like 10 free repairs.
Or just a free repair, I guess.
Or just a free repair.
Oh, yeah.
You spend a little bit of golden eagle. You go out and have some fun. If you get taken down, you got free repairs. I don't know what you can call it. You can call it rent a crew. I don't even know what you want to freaking call it.
Hey, just call it a free repair. What the like, just free repair.
Repair backup. Because once you go past your 10 and you are now
I like that
paying
idea.
an arm and a leg for these certain high tier planes, make it so that if you want to get you're grinding lions and you don't want to spend these retarded amounts, like
technically it's like converting lions, but you're putting it into a specific focus.
Yes. Yeah, like shit can happen in sim. Like you crash on takeoff, you get rammed by a teammate, a bomber snipes you,
or you don't realize that the decaled plane is an enemy.
Yeah, yeah, that shit. Yes. There you go. Team kill. Well, no, team kill's different. If you want to know what's expensive, team kill and sim. That's expensive. Holy shit!
That sounds like a good way for me to use up my lions.
back in the Sky Police days, I had like 5 million lions, and when we were doing our little pilgrimage, it was bankrupt. But that's a different topic for a different day. But no, yeah, I think getting rid of that, putting in a little bit of gold eagle to help with your lion costings, your lion fees, would be huge for Gaijin. And just get rid of backup. No one gives a shit about backup. People who play the game for a lot realize that backup is a waste of time.
A guy in Twitch chat is scared that feature will increase the repair prices for planes and tanks.
They're already quite well. I mean, I guess for sim,
like they would increase them to maybe incentive you to spend money.
But they're already quite high, and sim players don't want to lose their planes, which is why they're probably so high anyways. Like in arcade, we probably wouldn't use that feature because with the backup planes,
we're like fucking.
Well, yeah, we like our lion loss is quite low compared to somebody in sim.
Yeah, backup only covers one mode. Why not get something in there that covers all three?
Mm-hmm.
But we wouldn't. But again, we would
feature forum or request forum go.
We probably wouldn't use the backup plane, the free repairs, because our lion loss is quite low. Like even with sabers, it's like nothing compared to even like a tier 1 like Spitfire for you guys. Like you've got to fork out like thousands of lions per repair. We fork out like a few hundred, Like, we probably wouldn't use that, but for sim and realistic, which really do have these like massive line loss, and you want to keep playing that plane. Like, if you're playing that plane like Pax was yesterday with the Griffin, if you could have free repairs on that Griffin, you wouldn't mind so much losing it, because you have those extra 10 free repairs. You can jump out, you had a bad game, you failed on takeoff, you then jump out, you have a free repair, bam, go back in again. Like, a lot of people...
And then if they did incorporate something like this too, then what does that do for the RP to line? Or so when you can buy golden for line, just buying lines with golden eagles, what would happen to that? How would they balance out that equation too? Because you can spend golden eagles on just making lions. Like, you just spend X amount of eagles to get X amount of lions. So there's that to factor in too. Like, why would you do the free repair thing instead of just getting lions? There'd have to be, like, because then that would be more of a risk reward thing of where you do this free repair thing, but you better, you're doing it because you either are not very good at the plane or what have you, compared to like just buying lines to just get to your next vehicle. So there would be some balancing issues there if they did something like that. And then also, I mean, it would be up to Gaijin too. Like, if they did incorporate something like that, would they increase your line costs on things to compensate for this, to make you do it more? I mean, if they didn't change anything right now with line consumption when it comes to repairs, they didn't change a thing and added this in, it'd be nice. Now, if they added this type of system in and then increased line costs, obviously people would eye up on that pretty quickly and be like, hey, what are you doing here? You're trying to, what are you squeezing out of us here now? But, I don't know. I think it's neat food for thought.
I think it's just a different way that takes a system that, as we kind of all agreed, nobody really uses it, and manipulating it into a way where people that might not have like this game, like even Total Biscuit said, that isn't pay to win. Like, you can't buy something that instantly gives you a GG button. Like, it's all sort of player skill. Anybody can kind of beat stuff. So, like, people who don't grind a lot might, like, if they play Japan, who have quite high repair costs, might not be able to afford and keep grinding out for those planes. So being able to pay 10 golden eagles, they've just done the golden eagle wager, they've got 500 lions, like, what, I don't really want to convert all my lions, but I'm quite happy to put them into this one vehicle that I enjoy playing, and then they can use up those 10 vehicles, done. Like, then they might have enough money to then pay a little bit more.
Absolutely.
So it takes a... Yeah, it's an option, like,
I like
more
it.
so
that
than
isn't being
backup
used.
vehicles.
And uses
That's
it in just a different way.
Riot, let's get a poll up petition.
Yeah, someone needs to go to the request feature forum and
a good
make
idea.
a good write up here. Who's an author?
Get us
a good idea.
get us on the development team. We got this.
I'm no good English,
Yes.
not good grammar,
Dude.
bad. You suck, Renat. Can't English right.
Yeah, something like that would be actually really nice. I mean, considering the costs for some of these, the repair costs for some of these aircraft, and that's where I do shy away from the Japanese a bit more. They're my favorite
But
nation in
isn't
this whole thing.
isn't
I'd
that
rather
weird, though?
play
So
them.
you're telling me the Japanese planes are the most expensive to repair,
Yes.
and they're just made out of paper. I mean,
Yeah, and it's hard for me because
There's
like
reasons.
I love
Yeah, we're
the
trying
Japanese
to.
aircraft.
Yeah.
It's I mean, because my family has a history with the Zero. It was a piece of shit plane before my great grandfather got his hands on it. He's the one who developed the engine to the point that made it the air superiority fighter in World War One. A lot of people don't know that.
Wait,
Hughes
what?
Aviation
Really?
developed the Zero. Yes.
Oh,
the
continue.
Hughes Aviation was partnered with Mitsubishi in developing the Zero. They had an engine problem. It couldn't perform. It kept falling out of the sky, even with the insane lift it has. They called my great-grandfather in. He went in, found the engine, boosted the performance on it somehow, and on its merry way. A lot of the U.S. manufacturing companies before World War II were partnered with Mitsubishi, the other Japanese manufacturers stuff, because we had an alliance. We trained all their officers, and our companies trained all their industry. So there was a huge relationship before Pearl Harbor. So there's a lot of aircraft in the Japanese
I
tree
bet
that...
Pearl Harbor fucked some relations up.
Yeah, no kidding.
Really, you don't say.
I saw the movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the
I
same
played
time
Japanese
is, I mean, I have an affinity for the Zero because my family has history with it,
Huh.
as well as the same time with like the B-25 because my great grandfather also was a part of help setting up the Doolittle raid as well. He's he can do a little help plan the whole thing out and stuff like that. And they did it here at the airport that I actually even work at. I mean, that's aviation family's been for the longest time.
But that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so for
yeah,
the zero.
Why
for
didn't you
those
say
high
that
costs,
to begin
it's
with?
like-
You would have.
There's political reasons of why the Japan nation has a higher line repair cost, and it has to do with the tactic. But we don't need to get into topic about that because we don't want to go down there. But anyways, back on track here. I mean, like, we're already at the halfway minute mark here. Psycho, you said you had to get to work here. Are you good?
Yeah,
Are you good?
I unfortunately have to go to work. I gotta leave. I don't want to, but
no, thank you so much for like taking the time, like, to rush really quickly get us a guest spot. So much appreciated. Golf clap for Psycho.
I mean,
Golf clap
we
for
can
Psycho.
find another half episode down the line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll do the other half another day, and we can continue the story about because that is actually kind of cool.
I want to hear more about that.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about aviation history with Psycho 88 for sure.
I'll
guess
try and
it's-
find more with it. There's some things family's still trying to figure out what the hell my great grandfather did.
Yeah, because
shit
it's
that's
like
still classified.
Yeah, I was gonna say it must be classified information.
Yeah, we're still trying to prove that he was the one who flew the reconnaissance flights over Japan for the Doolittle raid. We got pictures of
But no
Tokyo and
selfie.
stuff. But yeah, but we don't have any proof for it. So because it's all still freaking locked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'd be more than happy to come back another time.
Excellent. No, for sure, dude.
On top, War Thunder's just fun.
Yeah, it is.
Sim medals and RB. I do play RB.
Well,
I'm a
awesome, and
sucker for
thank
that.
you, everybody watching and listening. That is Psycho88, who you can find at twitch.tv/Psycho88, flying sim battles whenever he can.
Pretty much whenever I can.
Pretty much.
Freaking Paul Allen doesn't need his plane sent out again.
And no premium planes, guys. No premium planes.
I can't stand them. The P-63
Oh, just
Russian premium. Don't get me started.
Well, it's alright. We're going to be talking about
we'll fill it
grinding
up
in a
with
minute, so
Gaijins.
don't worry.
We'll fill it up on
Why do I
next
get to get away from the
Gaijins
one I'll rage
premium
on the
fuel.
most?
Premium high octane fuel.
All right, you guys. Thanks for inviting me. I'll see you. I'll catch you guys next time, I guess.
Awesome.
Alright, so
Yeah,
we'll
you
take
have a good time at work.
enjoy.
I'll be actually in the stream when I get to work. All right. I'll see you guys.
All right, bye-bye, man.
Right on, buddy. Take care, dude.
And we are going to break. And after the break, we'll be back with Jingles Watch, as well as discussing the topic that is grinding in this game. We'll see you guys in about 4 to 5 minutes.
I feel pressured into doing this because you do
Alright,
it.
guys, we are back, and it is War Talk number 3. Today's guest, Psycho88, had to go to work. He ended with a pretty interesting story there about his granddad being involved with the
Hope we can get him on again.
manufacturing of zeros. Yeah, I want to bring like we could make that a whole topic. Let him sit here and talk about his granddad.
The Zero.
That would be awesome. That would be so cool. That would be really awesome. I would love to listen to that. I love listening to just stuff like that. People having their granddads being part of, you know, history, which is really cool. We are sitting here with, well, me, Scream112, Classypax, I'm just gonna call you Pax, and AverageAdam. We are gonna do the Jingles Watch, and we've come over some old footage this time, or maybe it's new, I don't know. It's black and white. We get a lot of footage sent to us, obviously. It's hard to tell which is, you know, real or fake. This definitely in our detector went as entirely authentic. We're gonna show it right about there. Pax will talk us through it. What are we looking at here? I can see Jingles in the corner. Well, he's taking.
Yeah, he's taking another one of those famous Jingles selfies here. But it looks like he's on board the Yamato. I don't know how he got permission on it. Probably just typical Jingles fashion. Walks up to them. Hi, hello everybody. Can I take a look at your boat? And they let him on. And as you can see, he's near the front of it. I think he might have been going for that lovely Titanic shot, but of course I don't see no lady in the picture. So he just did more of a Titanic selfie shot here. Gorgeous boat by the looks of things, and he looks like Jingles is having just a good old time.
I'm so jealous.
Keep going, Jingles.
Celebrity privileges.
Celebrity privileges. It's not every day you get to go on the Yamato.
Not every day,
Nope.
indeed.
No, definitely not these days.
No, definitely not these days. But I managed to get on a warship. It docked we have a port where we live, and there's a naval college, and there was 2 of them, and one of them was open for the public and the other one wasn't, and we asked to go see it, and the guy drove us to the wrong one, and we got ordered off the ship rather swiftly. So that might be
and you didn't pull
British
out
fashion.
You didn't pull out your hey, I'm on MGTV. Don't you guys know who I am? Don't you? I'm AverageAdam, for God's sake.
This is long.
Jingles was on the Yamato. I gotta be on this one. At least let me take a selfie.
Standard Britishness, you know, you accidentally do something, and they're very apologetic. So you know,
awesome.
Probably how you do it too.
Sorry,
I accidentally fell on your warship.
With a little bit of an undertone sarcastic wit mixed into it. Yeah. Oh, terribly sorry.
I just fell onto it.
Oh, awesome. Well,
right.
guys, if you have any more footage of what Jingles up to, we do update this every week. Send it to Jingles Watch at Metagamingtv. Please in the title put whether the photo is real or fake, so that we can easily determine that. Thank you, and yeah, we'll be back with this next week. Here we go. We're back to the regular overlay, and we're gonna now talk about grinding in War Thunder, which is something that nobody has ever had to do, because obviously grinding is not at all a thing in a game that is free to play.
What are you talking about?
Where you need to unlock things to progress, or feel a sense of progression, I guess. So, I mean, Pax, you started off before, so I mean, let's ask Adam then.
Adam,
is War Thunder really that grindy? Is the question.
I mean, all right. So we'll discuss from the previous patch. We'll try and stay away from the tier 20 stuff. But in the current patch, I mean, I guess it depends on, first of all, how much you play. I mean, if you have a lot of free time and you're able to put a lot of time into anything, things progress very quickly. Now, in terms of grinding, I would say RP gain is probably the thing that is hardest to do, rather than probably line gain. Because line gain you can do with any plane. You can do it, just in free time. You just select your favorite plane and you go. But if you want to really grind something, especially in, say, RB or simulator, you really want to use the plane prior to it. So, let's say Pax was using the Griffin yesterday. So, he might have been grinding or trying to grind the Meteor. That would have been the most efficient way of using it. These are very high tier planes, so it gets a lot harder and a lot longer, but, that's really the most efficient way of doing it. In terms of, do you need premium? I mean, I managed to get to British Jets without premium, and that was, quite some time ago. So I mean, I don't feel like it's, any different from, say, any other free-to-play game. Like, World of Tanks is a game that really springs to mind when it comes to an intense grind. I mean, I played World of Tanks for quite a considerable amount of time, and I only have, like, a tier 7. And that was the T-29, and that took me a few months. Now, granted, I'm not the best tank player, and it's quite a low RP gain. Like in this, if you were to do quite well in this, you'd get what, 6,000, 7,000 RP per game, you would say on average. I don't know what it is in Sim, but in arcade it's about
arcade?
that.
Yeah, if you.
What would you say in Simpax? An average game.
How much RP do you get, Pax, in an average Sim game?
He looks up.
Roughly around times 6. Approximately, it takes about approximately 6 arcade kills equal roughly what you get in a sim match. Now I can probably boot up the game here.
So how much RP would you say you normally
I don't really pay
match?
attention to the RP too much. I mean, I should obviously for this. I mean, I can just boot up the game here quickly and take a look at some of my past histories here, because I've been doing the spade thing more than I have been like trying to grind additional planes. So obviously,
But actually, that's the thing, though. Actually, putting effort into spading or acing, whatever you want to call it, like, which means to get all the modifications for every plane, actually gives you that bonus RP for every tier. And once you've done it, which actually kinda is a good way, in my opinion, to actually grind to unlock a certain vehicle, is to actually do those, because that bonus you get is actually quite substantial and good.
Yeah, for the M103,
Like, here's a
it's
good
12,000.
Here's a good example. Last night, last round of the night for me, I was in a Focke-Wulf A5. I got a total of 6 kills in a sim match. My total gain was 92,000 lions, 4,741 RP. But that was a defeat.
I have a question. You said 92,000 RP.
92,000 lions.
Oh shit.
4,700 RP.
Oh, 4,000. Okay, so here's what I want us to do.
That's not a defeat.
That's not a defeat. Okay, but it doesn't matter. That was a defeat, and you got 4,000 something RP, and you had 6 kills.
6.
The question I have is, how long did that game take you to play?
Long.
What is long? What is
It
long?
was 30 minutes more.
Is that total RP, or is that into the research of the unit, or is that into research of the total? No, that's fine.
When you go to your battles tab for your previous battles, it only gives you the yellow bulb. Doesn't give you a blue bulb.
Yeah. Like, so here's the discussion me and Adam has been having on streams, and anytime we play War Thunder and we end up talking about this with people, because we obviously get this question a lot. I mean, people come to the stream and they go like, how, like new players especially, they say how grindy is War Thunder, or how what do I need to do, or what do I use, or what is the best way to unlock stuff. And RP gain compared to time invested, unfortunately, and here's where I think Gaijin needs to work on the balance between the modes. Time invested compared to RP gain, arcade mode, best way to unlock stuff. That's my statement.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what your focus is, obviously.
Well,
I mean, not everyone plays to grind. Some people just play for the sheer enjoyment of playing a plane. I mean, we're getting back on the premium thing a little bit here, where if you want to grind fast, get a every year Gaijin does a sale where you get a full year worth of premium for like half the price. Ridiculously good deal. And by the time you get the next year, that sale is going on again. You get your next year of premium, and you don't feel it as bad. Now, obviously, when you get to high tier, unlocking of planes, meteors, sabers, all that good stuff, you're going to feel it. But that is technically, this is where the battle comes into longevity of a game, to keep you going. Obviously, this is a very evolving game when it comes to development process. So we're talking years before maybe they'll even quit calling it beta. Now, there's going to be tanks, there's going to be boats. How many people here in this room right now have rank 100? Right?
I'm not raising my hand, right?
Okay, you don't, Adam, you do?
I do. Yeah.
I'm 79, I think.
Chat's got a few rank 100s in there too.
Yep.
And that's just the rank, which doesn't really mean much. But I mean, like, people are getting near the end, right? Jets have always been like, they're never going to go past 1953 from what I understand. But Jets, to them, for unlocking and playing and gaining all their unlocks, is end game. It's meant to be long, as it's a staple of accomplishment of where you can say, look, I have spaded the last saber. The very few people can say that compared to I'm rank 100 or I have all the planes. I mean, to get all the planes, you have a couple premiums, you have a premium account, you'll get there in no time. What was it? Before they did over to the wager changes here, I think they've done something to gain, because I think they might have decreased it because it feels a little bit more grindy than it would have did before. But if you have these wagers now, you spend them wisely on the planes that you want to use, like a premium plane, double that stuff up, you can get through a jet, or you can grind out a jet to unlock a jet relatively quickly when you're speaking in terms of rank, like rank 5 vehicles. It is grindy, but I think that's the purpose, is to keep you playing the game, so that there's always something to work forward to. To get to endgame would be ridiculous. It is a long way. And then also on top of that, I mean, we're going to be adding new tanks, adding new boats. Boats will be coming in pretty soon here. So is it grindy? Yeah. Does it have to be grindy? I think so, because this is the nature of this monetization platform, of where to keep you in. But if you want to cut a corner here and there, you can with a little bit of money, not gain a benefit, but just cut a corner. I think that's fine, because you're not unlocking something to make you do better. You're just unlocking something that is just tiered higher for a different challenging experience. And when you talk to like things like jets, I mean, particularly in my mode, I find it harder to get a game than I do to unlock stuff in jets. I'll sit in queue for longer than the actual match would be.
I actually think the jets is so different to the props that, in my opinion, it's a different game mode. And a lot of people, they look at the tree and they look up the tree or down the tree and they go like, oh, I can't wait to get to those jets because that seems so cool. And then I think, I'm going to say 50% of the people who finally get to jets, they get their jets and they get in and they're like, and this is not for me. Like they realize that they prefer props. Once they see how different the gameplay is, it's just a whole different game mode, in my opinion.
Because it feels like a separate game.
Yeah, because it plays so differently. But still, people obviously look at those and go like, oh, you know, and that's obviously the goal. Like, I mean, they are the thing you're kind of working towards. While, like, again, like a lot of people get there and then maybe they just start playing what they think is fun. Hopefully, right? And I think that's a big thing too, because you know they grind towards this holy grail of jets, and then I would like to see percentages of how many people who have jets actually play that, you know, regularly.
A lot of RB guys, like really skilled RB guys, love jets, and they'll play nothing but jets.
Oh,
That
yeah.
seems to be their
It seems to be a
game.
community of its own. Like, you know, you're a jet player or you're not a jet player.
Yeah, I mean, Jet RB is a big one, and there's a little group of guys in Sim that do a lot of jets when they can get them. But arcade seems to be I mean, just I guess it doesn't. I don't know if it's a good fit with arcade jets. I mean, it's there. I mean, it's going to be there, and it's rightfully there. But it just the dynamic is not quite the same.
It feels really weird, in my opinion.
It's really twitchy. It's really twitchy in arcade. I mean, like it's just you have that precision movement of arcade plus the speed of a jet. It gets pretty rad. I haven't played it since the new mouse though, since Mouse 2.0.
I think it still wobbles quite.
Is it?
Like, yeah, it's more how fast can you move your mouse to try and avoid the dude behind you.
Maybe the new mouse aim will do some things. I haven't tried it out
It's
yet,
cool.
though. And
it's cool because basically you're grinding to this new game mode. That's what it feels like almost. Like when you get into jets, it's a completely different.
It's like
you're
unlocking another game mode, right?
Yeah,
like...
you grinded to a new game. It doesn't. I don't know if that okay. I don't have tier 5 tanks. Adam, does it feel like a different game in tier 5 tanks?
No, they don't have jet
tiers?
power
No,
well,
no,
I get it.
Tanks are tanks with bigger guns. Like you play them this. I actually think tier 1 might be the only tier that is actually different from all the others because they're all paper thin.
They're so shit.
And they are just so, like, all of them are equally as bad as each other. Nobody knows what they're doing with them. They've just designed things with, like, look at the BT-7. It's a go-kart with a gun. Like, that is literally it. It has no armor. Like, it has a little bit of slanting. But then as you progress, everything becomes more and more advanced. So,
more
yeah,
sophisticated.
you have to angle your tank. But once you kind of get to tier 3 and up, it's kind of, side scrape, use big gun, shoot weak spot. Like... Because nothing moves quick, you don't have to worry about, I have to have so much altitude, I have to have... It's just make sure I don't leave my wide side armor open for somebody to come blat me on the side. I mean, as you get higher, the guns get bigger and everything gets so much cooler and everything sounds better. But, as you said, gameplay-wise, it's not massively different.
So you're not really working toward a different experience. You're just working to the next bigger and badder thing.
The cooler-looking tank.
The cooler subjective.
The bigger gun.
Yeah.
Mouse.
Mouse.
You say the word mouse.
I guess there you go. You're working toward that thing, right? So
it's not cool, but it's awesome. Like, it's historic.
Even
it's like
if then, could they even add anything to tanks in tier 5 to make it feel different? I mean, like what in that era of tank, 1950 Korea War tanks, was there anything really significantly different performance-wise, tools, tech, compared to a World War II tank?
Started to change. Like they went from, say, the mouse with heavy armor to the Leopard, which is rather lightly armored and has a massive, awesome gun. So it kind of moves more to mobility and range.
Did they have ceramic armor by then? Like actual ceramic armor on tanks yet? Or that's not until like 80s and stuff?
Oh god, I have no idea.
That's a question I don't know the answer to. That would be Google or the chat. Ceramic armor.
Yeah, like I know the Sherman's got ceramic. It's meant to take one hit really well. Like it's because ceramic is it's brittle but it's strong.
Yeah,
like it'll take an impact really good. So yeah,
it was used by the British.
But anyways, so yeah, I mean like when it comes to like that end game stuff, obviously, and there's also things too within the game that you're also grinding toward, which are just not so much grindy. Like for example, a good one that I like, which some people don't even really, I mean, maybe don't look at it that way, but your little title, anti-aircraft, conqueror, fighter, ace, all that stuff. Some of those titles, like you could use them technically. I mean, they just go below your name, whatever, and stuff like that. But there's actually, like, if you know what those titles are for and how you get them, some of them are actually pretty impressive. Like the Ace one's an impressive one when you unlock Ace. And then there's one that's like...
What does
really
the Ace do?
God of War. God of Ace. Ace means how many kills? Players defeated.
Yeah.
10,000 players defeated gets you your Ace title.
Oh.
Like there's an example of showing not through rank, not through what you're flying, but how long you've been playing.
A long time.
It shows the way of how long you're playing Ace. And then there's one that's below it that very few have, but they'll start rolling through once by the time we get all the nations going in here with all fronts. God of War. That's 100,000 players defeated.
I'm a third of the way to that one.
Yeah, I'm not even a third. I'm like 1/6. Like
that is a long. That to me, that's the word grind. If there's because it's arcade, because I do arcade.
But that's not grind. That's just you. That's just you killing shit. That's
no, I know. No, I know. But if you were to go for that, like 1-to-1, I would have to get another 77,000 player kills in arcade. Yeah. I haven't got that in the time I've been playing this game to begin with. Like, as a sim player, you get the ×4 for that, which, as we discussed in the first episode with the wages, doesn't really make much sense because some is ×6, some is ×2, some is ×8. Like, that's ×4. So you've, like, if you're a fourth, like, that's still a lot of kills to try and get that award.
Yeah.
Like, so
I wish they put more emphasis on that. I mean, there's some cool things in there. I mean, like, when it comes to, like, talk about grinding things and stuff like that, and obviously they want to keep a monetization advantage for certain things to cut the corners of the grind and stuff like that, because they do have to make money. Is there anything that they could add through the progression of grinding new planes, grinding unlocks for the planes so that the performance is better? Are there other avenues they can take for unlocking things while doing this? I mean, we've just got these chests, these wager systems, skins. These boosts, skins. I mean, you do kills with these aircraft / tanks on certain maps or just all around. You do unlock skins. There's certain skins in there that you can only get because they're community based. There's a whole system with that when it comes to the skin guy making it. Would there be other avenues that they could add as well on top of that when it comes to like just little things within, like, you know, if you do this X amount of things with these like achievement sections of special things going on, and you kill or destroy or eliminate this certain amount of things with this certain type of plane, maybe you get wager packs or booster packs.
Yeah,
things like that, the kind of metagaming.
Like you said, with the weight, like with the titles and the skins, like that's something you can then show off to people. Like that shows a sense of achievement. Like a wager. Yeah, decals, that would be decals do it too. Decals, you've got decals, skins, and titles that all revolve around either bombing, killing, or you know, collecting the decals for the title decal skin for the, you know, you get so many decals, you get a title for that. But the battle wager stuff, while, you know, if you did the boomerang one yesterday, you got some battle wagers for getting, you know, 75 kills. You got 40.
See, I like 40%. That was really cool. 40%. If you didn't know about boomerang, this was awesome, right?
And I had no idea what was going on. I just thought Gazza was being nice and was just like, I honestly thought when I started getting them, I was like, I thought it was like a battle pack, like when you win a game, battle chest, you get like 1,000 you get 1,000 lions or 1,000,000 lions. You know, it's just random RNG. Like, I honestly thought it was that, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, I can play games and get boosters. That makes me happy. But then I was like, well, I got it for the boomerang, and I got the boomerang, so I wasn't, like, I didn't lose any happiness for it, but I was just like, oh, this is such a cool implementation. I would love to see that, like,
I really hope they did. That was actually a little...
Because the battle trophies is cool. Just add some chests and stuff to it. Like, boosters. Just add more things to the random that you can get.
Yeah. If they're going this direction, they might as well go fully in and start actually like really pushing it. Obviously, and instead of doing, because right now it's just the daily wager, the daily pack, which is basically a ×2 with a JPEG and a little animation of sparkle. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's sunshine. Not much different. Yeah, right. Sunshine.
Here's another.
I'll bring you back, bro.
Yeah. Here's another view on the grinding part. So if you go into War Thunder, or maybe you went into War Thunder before there were ground forces, you played airplanes, and you grinded, and you unlocked, and maybe even you got everything. Maybe you unlocked everything, and then they add ground forces, and you have new things to grind and unlock, right? Which, you know, to me, as who actually have, you know, who do like both modes now, I have so much to freaking, well, I mean, I've obviously have a lot of planes, but you know, I have a lot of things to unlock and grind for and work at. And it's nice. I like it. I feel like I always have something around the corner that I'm unlocking, that I'm getting. I'm getting something new every now and then. I get excited. I get happy. And eventually, unless they change their mind, we're gonna get ships, and that's gonna add a whole more things to grind. And I mean, at that point, if anybody's new to War Thunder, unless they go in with the mindset that I'm only gonna play this mode, they have so much shit to play and unlock and like just go for. And I mean, that's obviously a strength, I think, to the way Gaijin does War Thunder, where you don't have to install 3 different freaking clients that, in my opinion, is 3 different games, but you actually start up one game and you just go, what do I feel like playing today?
And when you get something new unlocked, you're like in a different game, you have to like remove your older one and you get the new one, basically like retiring your other one. This one, you're just collecting.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You can and you can play whatever you want to play out of your collection that you
Exactly.
have.
I can go back to this one, and I don't have to do any weird back feeding, refeeding, recrewing crap. I just go and play it.
Yeah.
I can put as many as I want on my little bottom list there. I can preset all my tier 1s, my tier 2s, my tier 3s, all my premiums. Have fun.
Yeah.
So you're collecting things. That's all you're doing is collecting. And there is I can't even think of another game that has as many vehicles as War Thunder does. Like War Thunder's got
a lot of tanks.
Well,
does it have more?
I mean,
I think it has as many.
If you only compare with ground forces, right?
Well, if you were to say all the vehicles,
we're talking about a single game. So World of Warplanes, World of Tanks are separate games according to Wargaming.
World of Tanks has a lot of blueprint tanks, like a lot of tanks that aren't in War Thunder because, you know, as we discussed a little earlier, there's a very fine line, you know, so they have a lot of extra tanks that, you know, might not be in here yet, or might not ever enter here. So I think it might be close between the two, but I think World of Tanks might be a close competitor. I don't know exactly how many they have.
But even then, I think War Thunder is such a
close.
great game when it comes to the fact you go into the game and you have so much. And sure, I mean, if you look at War Thunder from, I'm not going to have any premium, I'm not going to spend any money, it's obviously going to be a grind. It's going to be something that you spend a lot of time with. But hopefully the journey and the all the things you get along the way is fun and worthwhile. And that if you enjoy, you know, the plethora of modes, or you enjoy planes and tanks like I do, you have the variety of, I'm so bored of planes now, like I've been doing lately, just, you know, playing a lot of tanks. I think I'm starting to slip back into planes now, because, you know, yeah, like I'm getting bored of tanks now a little bit, so I'm like, I'm gonna be playing more planes now. And with that, in my opinion, I like
diversity too. So if you get
diversity.
sick of grinding out your X plane, you can move over to your Y tank and work on that for a little bit, or both. And then who knows what happens with boats? We're gonna have maybe a World War mode that they've been like thrown in the air for the past how long?
Yeah.
And then we'll see what that's gonna entitle. I mean, I'd love to see how that's gonna work with a Russian navy, but
So sure, the game is grindy, but it's also at the same time far away from the grindiest game I've ever played. I don't know, like
there's grinder. I mean, MMOs come to mind.
Yeah.
Right, and they're games that you pay. Like you pay like a subscription for, like War Thunder. Like, let's say you were to play War Thunder completely free.
Technically, there is a subscription. They call it premium. It's technically a subscription.
I agree. I agree. But let's say a game like World of Warcraft, a game that you have to pay a subscription for. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, that's how you get in.
But that's you know, quite a grindy game. Even if you get to max level, which I think is 80 or 85. I think they've 90. Now. It's 90, I think, because you can now pay to get stuff. But
what keeps you going after that? What keeps you going after you hit the high rank in those games?
Well, then it's like PvP, elite gear, and crazy gear and stuff. But then that's even a grind.
And stuff like that.
So it just keeps going and going and going. Like, they introduce more gear. But even that, like, a game that you pay for is quite grindy. And I don't feel people really mention that in that aspect. Like, if you were to play WoW, you're like, oh yes, like, you know, you get to level 10, you get to level 20. Like, nobody really says, oh man, this is so horrendous. Like, this is so lame. But they always want to progress to the next stage. Like, once you get that end game of WoW, I think
like,
that's why do
people play Diablo 3? Or Diablo, like those games. Like, why do people play those after they beaten the game, kind of?
Well, let's be honest. Me and you still haven't finished the campaign.
Sure.
And we got to level 70 in not that much time. I mean, we were playing co-op. We upped the difficulty to something ridiculous.
Once you hit max level, in that
Well, it's
game.
just gear and
Sure, we
bragging
haven't
rights.
even done the highest difficulty yet, but there's people sitting there on highest difficulty, highest level, just grinding and grinding. And I mean, that game, you kind of, there's no different modes really. You just go in and you slay certain bosses, monsters, you run around, do certain quests to just hope to get that better item drop. And at the same time, you're, so what they did in that game was that instead of like, okay, you reached
that
max
means you
level.
have a fixed goal.
You've
though,
reached
like
max
in-
level. Now you
yeah,
can gain Paragon
You're hoping for that
levels, which
random
is
goal.
account-wide. So you just continue leveling up your account with whichever character you want to play. But it's like there's, I mean, so the end, like that's the end game. The end game in that game, once you get there, is just to do the same thing all over and over and over and over again to see a
That
number
sounds
increase.
more like a gambling. You're gambling for you're grinding for possibility instead of like where you know what the next thing is, which is probability.
I guess,
right?
Yeah.
So you're doing that because you have a chance. So you keep doing it for the chance. While in,
So you're
in
saying
War
it's
Thunder,
gambling addicts playing
Gambling.
Diablo then?
Yeah.
not gambling, but you're grinding toward potential, a potential chance of getting something. So, gambling is where you throw something in,
Okay.
like the thing with gambling is actually
Well,
like
you're
more
throwing
money.
time in.
Yeah, time. So yeah, I guess put it that way. Yeah, okay, sure. So
Because it's
that's
very
not
time
very
consuming.
I mean,
you're grinding
feel
for
like-
the mystery box compared to
Yes.
where you know what you're grinding for. You're grinding for the car,
Yeah.
and you have to work for it, and you know the end goal. And you see that little bar of like I'm gonna get the car eventually. Well, in another game, you don't know when you're gonna get this magical car. You might just get in like 10 minutes. You might get it in 70 days. You don't know what you're gonna get. So that is like a mystery hold on. It holds on to you via the potential mystery chance of getting something very iconic in those type of games. Hence the I think that's why it's part of the addiction reason for it. I don't play a lot of Diablo, so bear with me if
It
I
was
don't
just
have.
since you guys went to
Yeah,
the
no,
MMOs comparisons, I felt like it was worth a comparison when it comes to grindy games. I mean, sure, people are mentioning in Twitch chat now that hey, it has rankings and ladders. I mean, War Thunder has that too. I
Right.
don't think people are playing War Thunder much, looking at the leaderboards, going like, yeah, I'm so gonna
Yeah,
be
no.
top. Like, no.
This War Thunder puts their leaderboards more to the side of it. I mean, they did it for like the squad things and stuff like that. There's some cool bragging rights there, and there's like that, but they don't put much emphasis on leaderboards compared to other games. I mean, you can go to like War Skill or whatever and see where your little thermometer gauge is at. Like, I'm okay.
mine's dropped because I'm doing tanks, by the way. I don't want
Tanks
anybody to
drop
judge
you.
me on
My
tanks.
mine has
big time.
increased because I'm doing tanks, by the way.
No, seriously. Like, if you look at it before planes, it's like 70, 80, and then it just goes, Adam plays tanks from 60. And that's not because I got worse. It's because I didn't get as many kills per game. Like, in tanks, you only
It's
get, like...
because you're worse in
7.
tanks than planes.
Shush you. Don't tell anyone, that's my secret. But if I'm so bad at tanks, and this game is so
not
groundy, how do I
bad.
get the M103 in one day?
You're not bad at it. You're just not as good as in planes.
There's definitely more utilization they could do for like leaderboards to have some type of like bragging rights system in there. I mean, you have certain things to do it. Obviously, you might come across the occasional guy with a gladiator decal on his plane. Obviously, hearing that through the band, right? Then you have the certain decals that are hard to get and the certain titles that are hard to get. Leaderboards, I think the way that they're set up, it's really weird because it also factors in premium. So let's say you're number one PvP player in the world, and you have a premium account. It's easier to be there with a premium than without a premium. There's actually guys who would technically be at the top of PvP rating if they had premium. Premium's factored in because it factors in your lion gain as well. So yeah. So there's ways to get to the top there. But I mean, there's things I could besides
win.
that. Yeah, pay to lead. So,
Hey,
Pay
to
to
be
lead.
at the top of the leaderboards. Woo!
pay to brag. So
Throw eagles
there's
at it.
things they can do there. Like obviously, when it comes to the leaderboard, I wish they would incorporate more things also with squads as well. Overall squad ratings and just the way that it's set up with like the icons and how to select there's like a last month feature thing that you have to unclick in order to see the all time compared to just the month, because you can see like the monthly who's at the top thing, which I don't know. I like all time better. All time kind of shows your complete impact
I like
on the
Dr.
game.
Pentacle's idea of a real, like almost like a league mode where you go in and you somehow get ranked, and you can be like, I'm a diamond player. Like they have different leagues and rankings and tiers. Like that would be cool. Like where you actually can look at a leaderboard and go like, oh, like if I win the next 5 games and do really well, I'll go into the higher league and then I'll face better players and I'll be like, really good.
You know what?
Yeah.
That would be freaking awesome. If
Right?
they put more emphasis into that, absolutely.
Because what that does is give a ton of incentive for people to
By the way,
actually
sorry,
do.
it was my apologies. It was not War Skill. It's Thunder Skill.
Oh, Thunder
Link
Skill.
for
Yeah.
chat.
It's what that would do is
I'm
give
not a mod yet.
It would give ton of incentive. it would give. You have to ask permission, Pax. It would give ton of incentive for more people to actually go in with the mindset of competitive gameplay. They would be like, I'm actually gonna try and be so fucking good now.
Something to focus on besides just grinding the
Just
next
sitting there like,
mob.
do.
That's metagame. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
But grinding the next thing in War Thunder compared to say World of Tanks isn't as bad. Like in World of Tanks, like the average RP gain is like 200 to 300. That's without premium. In this, it would be 2,000. Now, I know that there's different games, different modes, but the requirement to get say an endgame tank or an endgame jet is 38,000. I think in World of Tanks it's like 1 million. And if you're only getting 200 to 300 without premium, that is going to take forever. Like, what is if you that's what 200 like a bazillion games. Like at least in this, it's all right, fine. It's still a long grind. 38,000. You've still got to grind all the other stuff. But 2,000 per game is a lot more than 200.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like always people sort of when they go, oh man, this game is so long, as you said, they're only looking at trying to get that bar to go up to the next stage, but they might not even be doing it that efficiently, like to bring it back to really why people you just subscribed.
Well, there's no sub notifications going on as we're doing the podcast. Sorry, no sound effect for you.
Some guy called me out. I'm like, all right, fuck you. I'm not gonna take that shit.
and I did just make you mod too, so he paid for mod.
I got a sword.
Pay to win.
Pay to win. I'm winning.
Throw eagles at
The
it.
grind is done. I've completed.
He's been grinding 3 episodes of War Talk, and now he's a mod.
I've completed.
So get on 3 talks of War Talk. Get smart. I mean, I just like when people go, oh man, it's taking so long to get the next thing. Are people like using like a fighter that they need to be using or a bomber that they need to be using? And not to mention in this, you don't even need to play like a fighter like in let's say World of Tanks, where if you want to grind for the next tank, you have to play a heavy tank. Like you might get halfway down the tech tree and go, I don't really like heavy tanks. Like, but you would have to then start all the way back from the beginning. At least in War Thunder, if you're like, well, I don't really like grinding bombers, but I'm pretty good as a fighter, you can grind that bomber line and not ever have to touch a bomber. Like, sure, you won't get the
Yes.
you won't have to then you won't get all the parts for it, but you can be playing a thing that you at least enjoy or you're good at. Like all right, fine, it might take you longer, might not be as efficient, but you're playing something you're enjoying. You'll be playing it again. Like, sure, you should probably play bombers to get better at it if that's why you're not doing very well. But at least you don't have to sit there and grind something you're not enjoying.
Forcing you down a tunnel. Yeah.
Right. Like that's where I think World of Tanks really lets itself down, is being like, oh, you really want to try this medium tank? Well, sucks to be you because you've got all the heavy tanks. Go start again. Oh, you want to use that RP that you've gained on that really nice tank you've got? Nope, can't spread it. Sorry. Like you can, like, all right, fine. I've got like 27 million free RP. Like I can't do anything with it if I don't want to spend eagles. Like in World of Tanks, sure, you can say you get free RP, which you don't have to spend any money on. But that's like 70 per game. Like that's even less than what you get. Like it's.
So yeah, I was gonna ask you guys, like, have you guys ever converted?
No.
I have.
I have.
No.
We've talked about this.
I know,
Back
but I
when
wanted to show my exact same reaction to it.
Back when I started playing the game, near the game, having a really good time back in the rank 20 days, I bought some premiums, like boomerangs and stuff like that. And there were certain planes that I was having a tough time going through, like just to finish them up, like the SM-79s and some of the Italian planes I was having issues with. Just, basically like trying to get through them. And I would use Sometimes if I saw a certain plane that I really wanted to play, but I didn't want to grind the next plane for it, I would just RP grind. Obviously, learning from that how expensive that is, I don't do it anymore. I obviously don't do it anymore, but I did try it.
There was a guy who were part of MGTV called Marvin. What was that event when there was this limited edition jet plane?
174.
Yeah, the 174 jet.
You got the 174 packs.
I don't have it.
That's a plane. That's another rare one.
So that was a grind. That was a grind. Like they they released a patch and they're like, okay, this plane is only available for a week. And me and Adam like, holy shit. Okay, where are we on this tech tree? And we're like, we gotta have that. And the grind was on. And Adam just he was so lucky to even be off work a lot that week. Like you just like, whoom, like you just went there, like, and you had to go through like a bunch of planes you never thought you were going for. You just like boom, 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 like. But I think so you had to unlock a bunch of planes to get there. Three planes. Well, I was like 5 planes away from it. I was 5 planes away from it, and when I got to, I think when I had 1.5 plane left, I was like, screw it, because then work was coming up. I was like, there's no more time for me. Money at it, and I got it. And Marvin bought 25,000 golden eagles and just went for it. Like he's just like whoa, like he just in one 15-minute stream like click buy, just just win. And we're like, okay.
So you have 3 different extremes even on MGTV. You are the guy who loves to grind. I love seeing that progression bar going up, and it feels so nice to be able to get that next tank and going, I've achieved that. I can then use it and touch it and then go for the next thing. I'm scared of what I'm going to do if I run out. If I ever ran out of stuff, I would be worried because I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be stuck. So I'm so glad that they just keep adding stuff for me to be able to do, and I don't have to do the Japanese line. But then you have Marwin, who's quite happy just to go, money.
He just want to play it. He doesn't want to grind for it. And that's fair. I mean, that's fair. I mean, that's obviously what keeps Gaijin going. Is those people that do spend money on the game. But at the same time, it's kind of funny to see Adam go, because what happens is that like, oh, they released the mouse. Adam's like, here we go, grinding for the mouse. Like this week was brought to you by Adam grinding for the mouse. Is like, that's all you're gonna see when he streams. Is like he'll just be like doop 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 doop, going slowly towards that next unlock. And I mean, to me, I understand how rewarding that is. The only thing I've been converting mostly has been back in the days when I were close, because I haven't converted for a long time, but when I was close to, like, I'm like, oh, I want this plane. Okay, how, like, and I will click on like convert, and I'll see how much it is. I'm like, oh, it's only 800 eagles. Ah, frick it. Like, I'll just, like, when it's like cheap, when I'm almost there, that's when I convert. I never convert for a whole thing. I just convert for that last part where I'm like, oh, I can get it now. Like, that's what I do. It feels cheaper. It feels I didn't pay much.
The biggest problem for me when it comes to converting is the conversion rate. Like how much is
the conversion
it?
rate
It's
is
something
crazy.
tiny. Like it's 1 for 25. I think I wanna say.
That
like
sounds
it's
a lot though, but it is quite expensive to convert. Definitely.
For 1 eagle, it's 45. So to convert something like the 174, which is 380,000, it's 7,762 lines. So that's an entire premium tank that you're basically buying if you wanted to grind for a tier 5. Like a tier 5.
I've been looking
so
at
back to premiums.
Yeah, I've been looking at the higher tier, like now that I'm at the tier 4 tanks, right? And I've been looking at what does it cost to convert a whole tank. It's pretty much the same price as to just buy a premium tank, right? Like that right. Seems to be, and in some way I think that's a fair price. It's like, okay, you're buying a tank.
Benefits.
No, sure, but you're still buying a tank. Like, you're paying for convenience because you don't have the time to unlock it.
And now we're circumventing to the first part of the talk today.
Well, I mean, they're all combined anyways. Like, we're talking about eagles and money and grinding, and what's the... Oops, sorry.
I think we've covered almost all spectrums of this conversation. And look at the time, too, where we pretty much wrapped up perfectly right time-wise.
So to sum up, The game isn't as bad as long as you're good at the game and you like to buy premium at
long
half
as you're
price every
As
year.
long as you're having fun, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're having fun. I mean, I gotta echo that. Like, I mean, that's the only reason you see me still playing this game is because I still think it's a fun game to play. I mean, yeah, and obviously, I guess if the game felt too grindy, maybe it wouldn't be fun. So maybe it's a good balance. Maybe it is enough fun and enough grindy to keep me going.
Maybe we're having fun after all.
And that's a great note to end by. And awesome. All right, you guys feel satisfied?
Very satisfied.
So War Thunder isn't pay to win, and it's not that bad of a grind as long as you're having fun.
Sure. I agree. All right. Thank you guys for watching and listening. We had a guest in the first half. It was Psycho88. You guys can go catch him playing sim battles maybe after work. He's at work now, so not right now, but whenever.
Check him out.
Go check it out. It's twitch.tv/Psycho88. That is a CYCO88 actually. And as always, Classypax, formerly known as Pax Founder, and AverageAdam and me myself, Scream112. This was the third episode. Throw eagles at it. And we will see you next week.
I don't have any golden eagles.
Talking about War Thunder stuff here on War Talk, and as well as obviously, as always, we will see what Jingle's been up to. All right, take care, guys, and bye bye.
Bye.